Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome all the devotees of ISKCON Richmond for this evening session on a discussion on Vaishnava character and relationships. How many of you feel that this topic is very relevant and practical for our spiritual life? We need good friendships with other devotees. We also need to develop good character. So let's discuss a few pointers on this topic based on the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and also Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Let me speak a few words on character, then I'll slowly come to relationships. Why is Vaishnava character important? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his teachings, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, he emphasizes, specifically to Sanatana Goswami, he emphasizes the importance of developing Vaishnava character. The character of a devotee is the real ornament of a devotee, not the necklaces or the crowns or earrings or the bracelets or anklets that the devotees wear. The real ornament of a Vaishnava is character. That's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, develop these four aspects of Vaishnava character: Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Amanena Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadaharihi. So these four aspects of Vaishnava character are your real ornaments. He says, tie it like a kantimala around your neck. So this kantimala is Trinadapi Sunichena, according to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Tie it around your neck like a kantimala. We receive inspiration in bhakti, or the seed of devotional service, from a bona fide Vaishnava Guru. And that seed will grow into a nice plant or a creeper. And it grows so much that it reaches the lotus feet of Krishna in the spiritual world by regularly watering that seed. And the process of watering that seed is Shravanam and Kirtanam. Regularly hearing Harikatha and chanting the holy names of Krishna and glorifying Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. That's the watering process. Apart from watering the seed, we should also ensure that the soil is fertile. And the fertility of soil is compared to Vaishnava qualities like tolerance, honesty, gratitude, satisfaction, humility, respecting other devotees. These are various aspects of Vaishnava character. Without fertile soil, the seed cannot grow, however much water you supply. We may hear so much, we may chant so many rounds. Yesterday we were discussing Bahujanma kare yadi Shravana Kirtan tabuna paibe Krishna padi privadan. Although we do Shravan Kirtan for so many janmas, not so many years or weeks or months or even decades, so many janmas, so many lifetimes we may do Shravan Kirtan. But without proper character, without cultivating the right kind of mood and consciousness in our dealings with other devotees, and thus avoiding Vaishnava Aparadh. Vaishnava Aparadh is the first offense to the holy name. The first offense to holy name is offense to Vaishnava. If you are offending another devotee because of not having the right character and mood or consciousness, that offense is offense to holy name. How can we do Kirtaniya Sadaharihi without humility? Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Satatam Kirta Yantomam Yatantasya Dravratam. You always chant my holy name. 9.13 and 14 are the middle shlokas of sloka number 350 and 351 out of 700. So Krishna kept Srimati Radharani, taking shelter of Srimati Radharani and chanting the names of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna kept these two things in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, center of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna said, Kirtaniya Sadaharihi, I mean, Satatam Kirtayantoma. But when can we chant the holy names of Krishna? Always. When we have humility, when we have tolerance, when we genuinely respect other devotees for whatever they are, and when we don't hanker for honor from others. You should not be hankering. I should get honor. I should get respect. I should be treated in this way. I should get this privilege. I am entitled for all these things. Whenever we have a sense of entitlement, either for physical gifts or facilities, or honor, praise, appreciation, glorification, or position, whenever we hanker for all these things, we need to understand we have a long way to go. Hankering for honor is against Vaishnava culture. Amanina manadena. Whenever we are not genuinely respecting other devotees for whatever they are, and whenever we think we are entitled for some respect and some special treatment, then we have a long way to go. To be able to chant the holy names of Krishna always, to accomplish the instruction of Krishna Kirtane Sadahari, Satatam Kirtayantamam, we need to cultivate humility. When that humility is not there in our interactions with other devotees, when these Vaishnava qualities are not there, then we commit aparadhs. When aparadhs are committed, then the growth of our devotional creeper will be strangled. It will not grow sufficiently. We are pouring water. All the water that we are pouring in terms of chanting so many rounds will only increase our pride. See, I'm chanting so many rounds. I'm more advanced with that. That will increase pride. Or I know so much Shastra. I'm scholarly. I understand these minor nuances of philosophy. I'm a great orator. I'm a great speaker. I'm a very great kalakar. I'm worshipping the deities so nicely. I can tie the turban so well. I can decorate the altar so excellently. So I'm a kalakar, I'm a kathakar, I'm a speaker, I'm this, I'm that. So all these designations, you're doing chanting, you're studying philosophy, but all this is inducing pride in us. All our sadhana is nourishing weeds in us, not the actual plant. In the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a beautiful analogy. You have a rice field and you need to water that rice field. All the water that you are putting into the field, that should nourish the plants there, not the weeds. The weeds are getting nourished, the original plant is not getting nourished. What's the point of supplying water there? Similarly, all the study of our philosophy should nourish our heart, nourish our bhakti creeper, not the weeds of anarthas. So we are studying so much philosophy, we are studying so many cantos of Bhagavatam, so many shlokas of Gita and Vedas, Upanishads, so many scriptures we are studying. All that instead of nourishing the bhakti creeper, if it is nourishing the weeds of anarthas like pride, envy, when somebody knows Shastra more than you, he's quoting shlokas more than me, he's able to captivate the audience better than me, he's more eloquent, he's more charismatic, he's more influential. Why I'm like this? Our bhakti should infuse humility in us. When we have humility, when we see other devotee doing wonderful service, we should feel inspired. We should appreciate the devotee. We should rejoice. We should feel happy for them. Instead, if you are feeling insecure, envious, jealous of them, then we need to understand what our Shastric study is doing to us. All the Shastras that we study should induce humility in us. Knowledge should increase humility. But knowledge, if it is inducing arrogance, that's not knowledge, that's ignorance. Jnana, when it is accompanied by Vinaya, it becomes Vijnana. Vidya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva svabhake cha panditaha samadarshinaha. Our Vidya or Jnana should induce Vinaya in us. Vinaya accompanied by Jnana becomes Vijnana, realization. But Ahankar accompanying Jnana will become Ajnana. When our knowledge is inducing arrogance in us, that knowledge is not knowledge, it's ignorance. Arrogance accompanying knowledge will only make us ignorant. So, when we are studying more and more Shastra, when we know Shastra, when we are doing so many services, we are contributing in the mission, that should only increase our humility and not pride. And all that humility that we have, the right Vaishnava mood that we have, that will be reflected in our dealings with other Vaishnavas. Thus, we'll also become friendly. If a devotee is humble, if other devotees are perceiving pride in this person, in this devotee, that's a different thing. Sometimes envious people perceive pride in others. Sometimes proud people perceive envy in others. If I am proud, I think that this person is envious of me. They may not be envious. They may or may not be envious, but because of my pride, I may perceive some envy. When I'm envious of somebody, I may think he's so proud. He may not be proud. You are envious of that person. Before labeling another devotee as proud, first evaluate, first check if you have any envy towards them. Is it because of my intolerance of their greater position that I am perceiving pride in them? Typical example, classical example is Daksha. Daksha entered this great sacrificial assembly where hundreds and thousands of sages and devatas and manus were there. And everybody got up to honor him, praise him. He's expert, Daksha Prajapati. Then, except two people, everybody got up. Who are the two people? Brahma and Shiva. Brahma is the father of Daksha. Father need not get up to respectfully receive the son. So, Daksha went and offered obeisances to Brahma. Right next to Brahma, Shiva was sitting. Daksha thought, he's supposed to get up, right? Why he is not getting up? Why is he not honoring me? Exactly opposite to Amanina Manadana principle. He is supposed to get up, stand up, and respect me. But he's sitting there shamelessly. He's arrogant. Who is arrogant here? And Shiva was sitting there meditating on the Supreme Lord. He was in his own meditation. He was meditating on Lord Vasudeva. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shaktitam. You are blaspheming a person who is meditating on Vasudeva. He should stop meditating on Vasudeva and we should honor you. Is that what we are expecting from him? Kind of mentality is Daksha. And he said that, oh, great assembly members, I'm going to give an important message to you. I'm beginning my discourse now. My discourse on Vaishnava character and Vaishnava culture. Please listen very attentively. I'm not speaking out of envy or arrogance. I'm not speaking out of jealousy. I'm speaking with a pure intention to describe how Vaishnava culture should be. How one should have culture, character, and manners. So I'm just speaking that. And what did he speak? He's only criticizing Lord Shiva. That is his discourse. This Shiva is so unclean. This Shiva is wandering in crematorium. He has ashes all over his body. He has snakes all over his body. And he's associating with hobgoblins and ghosts and spirits. He's unclean. This monkey-eyed rascal doesn't deserve to be a husband of my fawn-eyed daughter, Sati. But still, because this Parameshti, this Brahma forced me to offer my daughter in marriage to this Shiva, I did that. So many things. Vaishnava, because of his pride. Actually, in the beginning of creation, Brahma created 4 Kumaras. And he told the Kumaras, you should get married and you should expand population in this universe. Kumara said, no, we can't do it. We'll remain as brahmacharis, lifelong. Forget only being brahmacharis, we'll remain 5-year-old kids forever. And Brahma becomes slightly angry. And from that anger, Lord Shiva is born. And Brahma told Shiva, Shiva, you should increase the population of this universe. You should get married. Shiva said, okay, fine, I'll do it. Shiva had 11 expansions. He had 11 wives, Rudranis, 11 Rudras and 11 Rudranis. And Shiva created population. Somehow that population started destroying everything. He is supposed to be creator. In the phase of creation, he started destruction. Because Shiva's job expertise is destruction. He's like Artha. But he's engaged in creation. So what did he do? He just created disturbance. His sons, his children created disturbance. They even came to attack Brahma. Brahma said, my God, what kind of creation is happening now? It's like they're arranging for the program. Subal Saka Prabhu is making arrangements for the program. He told some devotees, voluntary devotees, you please put mats here, and so the devotees can sit. You put asan here, you bring the deities down, you put camera, you arrange pradanga, kartal, put some prasadam there. So you engage devotees. Some devotee comes, expert in winding up. Either putting the mat, he's holding the mat. After 2 hours, we have to fold, right? And make it now itself. It work. As prasadam arrangements are being made, he's washing plates. Like somebody who's expert in wind up, you cannot engage them in setting up. So someone should set up, someone should wind up. So sir, who's good at both, that's fine. So Shiva is good at winding up, not setting up in this context. So Brahma told, better you stop this kind of creation. No need to do this kind of creation. You go into the forest, start meditating, chant Hare Krishna. By the way, you should take all your people also with you. Don't go alone. Take all the associates also, sons also with you. Just go. And I'll take care. Then Brahma created 10 people. One of them is Daksha. He told them, many are sages. One is Daksha. He said, you start creating the universe. Increase the population in the universe. Amongst all these 10 people, Daksha became expert. The service that Shiva failed to do, Daksha did it very expertly. Daksha excelled in that service. And Daksha is so proud. But although Shiva failed to offer his assistance to Brahma in expanding the population and the creation in this universe, still Shiva received so much respect. He's one of the foremost devatas. Everybody is worshipping Shiva, glorifying Shiva. Daksha was thinking, he failed to do his service and I did it expertly. All respect is going to him, not me. You see, respect is not for the expertise. Respect is for the character. Shiva is a Vaishnava. He had all Vaishnava qualities. He's humble, he's tolerant, he's satisfied. He's very simple at heart. He's not crooked. He's not envious of anybody. He's equal to everybody. You see this? Therefore, everybody is respecting Shiva. Asutosha. He's Dhira Janapriyo Prayakaro, Nirmatsaro Pujito. Everybody is loving Lord Shiva. Demons also worship Lord Shiva. Devatas also worship Lord Shiva. Shiva is very dear to Vishnu also, Brahma also. But Daksha, only his expertise is highlighted. Character? No. He's envious, he's proud, he's arrogant, he's blasphemous. Still, because he's expert, he is kept in that position. Sometimes we may get a position because of our skill, of our talent. But if we start identifying ourselves overly with that position and privilege and start ridiculing devotees who are good at their character, where do we go? God knows. You may get a goat head. like Daksha. Daksha was expert. But accomplishment is not as great as character. Character is more important than accomplishment. Daksha had great accomplishment, even more accomplishment than Shiva, in terms of increasing the population of this universe. Of course, Shiva also has his own accomplishments. When Samudra Manthan was happening, when Halahal came out, nobody called Daksha. Call Daksha, he'll protect you from the poison. Nobody called Daksha. Everybody called Shiva. Vishnu said, you go and call Shiva. And Shiva drank poison and protected the entire universe. He has his own set of accomplishments. But here, in this creation phase, he failed to do something. But Daksha became expert in that. Daksha is so proud. Of course, this may not be the only reason. Daksha, intrinsically, he is a very proud person. He has been envying Lord Shiva since a long, long time. So he criticized. So what is most important for us is, as devotees, to cultivate Vaishnava character. He can do great services. He can accomplish nicely. Who can defeat Daksha in his service? Who engaged Brahma in the service of creation? Lord Vishnu. And Brahma engaged Daksha in that service of expanding the population. Therefore, what Daksha is doing is a bona fide service to Lord Vishnu, to a great Vaishnava, Lord Shiva. Definitely, Daksha's service is inconceivable, exceptional, phenomenal service he has done. But there's no character. That's the whole issue. If service itself is sufficient, accomplishing and achieving so many milestones in our service, that itself is sufficient. Why so many shlokas of Bhagavad Gita? Why so many shlokas of Bhagavatam? Why so many shlokas of Chaitanya Charitamrita are emphasizing on developing Vaishnava character? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna did not speak just Atma Tattva. He did not just speak Prakriti Tattva. He did not speak about the Jiva Tattva. Krishna is not just simply speaking the philosophy. In the second chapter, he spoke about knowledge of body and soul. Third chapter, Karma Yoga. Fourth chapter, Jnana Yoga. Sixth chapter, Dhyana Yoga. And later, many chapters on Bhakti Yoga. Then he spoke about three modes. He spoke about Prakriti. He spoke about Vishwarupa. He displayed Vishwarupa. So many things he did. But apart from all this, he also emphasized a lot on cultivating Vaishnava qualities, Vaishnava character. In the second chapter, he spoke about Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna means one who is situated in Prajna, wisdom. So what are the qualities of a Sthita Prajna? Detachment, tolerance, self-control, mind control, sense control, humility, devotion. These are the qualities. Krishna is not saying he's very wise, he's very scholarly, he's expert in grammar, he can compose poetry. He's not. These are not the qualities of the Prajna. He has self-control. Daksha had no self-control. He has equanimity towards happiness and distress. Daksha did not have. So Krishna is emphasizing on the qualities of a Vaishnava in second chapter. We move a little ahead. He also emphasized on the character of a devotee in the 12th chapter. Last 8 shlokas of 12th chapter, they emphasize on who can become dear to Krishna, qualities that endear one to Krishna. In the 13th chapter, Amanitvam, Adamhitvam, Ahimsa, Kshantirajam, there's a series of shlokas that are describing several qualities of devotees, 20 qualities of devotees. In the 16th chapter again, he speaks, Teja Kshama Dhruti Saucham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivi Abhijatasya Bharata. So many chapters are filled with Vaishnava qualities. 5th chapter again, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavinastin. Krishna, apart from philosophy, apart from description of Bhakti Yoga, is also emphasizing a lot on developing good character throughout Bhagavad Gita. And Srimad Bhagavatam, in Uddhava Gita, in many other cantos, Titikshaya, Karunaya, Maitreya, Chakhila Jantashu, Samatvena cha Sarvatma, Bhagavan Samprasidati. Titikshaya, if you have tolerance. Karunaya, if you are kind and compassionate. Maitreya cha Akhila Jantashu, if you are friendly towards all living beings. Samatvena, if you have equanimity. Bhagavan Samprasidati, the Lord is pleased. He's not saying, if you do yajnas, if you do tapasya, if you do austerities, if you do penances, if you do this vrata, japa, homa, tapa, Krishna will be pleased. There are some descriptions here and there like that, but there are qualities that are very much important for us to cultivate. Prahalad says, very beautifully, Prahalad says, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvair gunaistattra samasate suraha haram abhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathena sati dhavato bahi. One who has akinchana bhakti, one who has unflinching devotion unto Krishna. Sarvair gunaistattra samasate suraha. Such a person is endowed with all great qualities even that are found in the devatas also. Haram abhaktasya kuto mahadguna. If someone is not a devotee of the Lord, what great qualities he has? Devotee should have good qualities: gratitude, compassion, tolerance, humility. So devotees are abodes of great qualities, good qualities. This is emphasized in Srimad Bhagavatam also several times. Practically every canto emphasizes either as a principle it's emphasized, or it's demonstrated through the example of a Vaishnava. First canto, Parikshit Maharaj, such great character. Yudhishthir Maharaj, such great character he had. Second canto, Brahma, another devotee is described. Third canto, we see in the third canto the example of Kardama Muni. Fourth canto, Prithu Maharaj, how much tolerance he exhibited when Indra was stealing his horse. Forgiveness, another important Vaishnava quality. Fifth canto, Bharat Maharaj. Sixth canto, Chitraketu Maharaj, Vritrasur. Seventh canto, Prahlad Maharaj. Eighth canto, we have Bali Maharaj. Ninth canto, Ambarish Maharaj. 10th canto, all the great Vrajavasis. 11th canto, Uddhava. 12th canto, Markandeya. Like that, in practically every single canto, the stories of multiple devotees who have demonstrated exemplary Vaishnava characteristics are nicely described for us to develop that mood. Chaitanya Charitamrita, especially Madhya, that describes great qualities of devotees, always rejoicing other devotees' success, non-envious, absolutely no envy. We must study Shastra, we may do so many services, we may quote slokas left, right, center, we may mesmerize the audience, we may build big temples, we may lead big projects, but if there is even a tinge of pride and envy in the heart, we cannot become dear to Krishna. Krishna will not be pleased. If you are disrespectful towards other Vaishnavas, Krishna will not be pleased. So, developing Vaishnava character is important for our own personal sadhana and advancement in spiritual life, and also to please other Vaishnavas, to develop good relationships with other Vaishnavas. Vaishnava character is very important, extremely important. Now, let's talk a little bit about relationships. There's much more we need to talk about Vaishnava character, but let's talk a little bit about relationships. A Vaishnava is naturally inclined towards having cordial, loving, friendly, close relationships with all living beings. Not only devotees, all living beings. You want proofs? There are sufficient proofs. Parikshit Maharaj, you know what he said? Punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante pratihi prasangascha tadashrayeshu mahatsuyamya upayami srishtim maitriyastu sarvatra namodvijebhyah punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante. If at all I have to take birth again in this world, I don't mind. I don't mind going in this repeated cycle of birth and death again. But I want three things. One, Bhagavatyanante ratihi. I want attachment to the Supreme Lord Krishna. I want devotion towards Krishna. Number two, Prasangascha tad ashrayeshu. I want the association of devotees who have taken shelter of Krishna. Third, Maitriyastu sarvatra. I want friendly relationships with all living entities. Sarvatra. When Krishna was touring Mathura city, he met a florist. You know the name of the florist? Sudama, correct. He met a florist named Sudama. And the florist offered this beautiful garlands to Krishna with so much of love and affection. Such a beautiful garland it is. Nice color. So he offered. Krishna became so pleased and asked him, take whatever boon you want. You know what Sudama florist said? He said, Sopi vavre chalam bhaktim tasmin evakhilatmani tad bhakteshu cha sauhardam bhuteshu cha dayam param. Said, Sopi vavre achalam bhaktim. Oh Krishna, I want achalam bhakti. Completely focused devotion to you. Without any distractions and without any deviations, I just want to be devoted to you. Achalam bhakti. Tasmin evakhilatmani tad bhakteshu cha sauhardam. I also want friendly relationships with other devotees. We should never think that me and Krishna sufficient, nothing else is required. No. We should always be friendly with devotees, then only we'll get Krishna. Tasmin evakhilatmani tad bhakteshu sauhardam bhuteshu dayam param. What about other living entities? Daya. I want to be compassionate towards all the living entities also. In this way, whether it is Parikshit Maharaj or the Sudama Flourish and many other devotees, they always expressed their inclination to have friendly relationships with all living entities. However, for all practical purposes, we cannot be friendly with some living entities. We understand. Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmani Gavihasti Suri Jivasva Pakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Pandit can see all living entities as children of the Lord. But we should not forget their natural differences. You can go and embrace a cow. Can you embrace an elephant? Even cows also can do like they do like this. None. Cow, at least it's okay, you can control. But cow has horns. If you are not accustomed, then sometimes you may get hurt. You need to be careful with Gomata. But if you are accustomed to doing service to Gomata, yes, of course. And even if cow kicks also, it's good. Mothers can beat, not an issue. But we need to be a little careful. So, like you can embrace a cow, you can embrace a calf, can you embrace a tiger? Can you embrace a lion? They are also children of the Lord. They are also souls, they are part and parcels of Krishna. Fragmented parts of Krishna, they are also amshas of Krishna. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Mama Imamsho Jiva Loki Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. All jivas are my amshas. Krishna said it. But we should have that proper viveka or discretion, whom to embrace and whom not to embrace. Although we understand knowledge is there, everybody is equal, but we should have that discrimination. So same thing. Although a devotee is inclined to have loving relationships with all living entities, still a devotee is more inclined to have loving relationships and friendships only with devotees and deliberately, consciously avoid those who are not devotees. And again, non-devotees are of two types: innocent and arrogant. They're innocent people, they are not devotees yet, but they're innocent. You can go and teach them. You can go and enlighten them in devotion. You can bring them to spiritual life. That's fine. That kind of association is fine. You are giving them association. You are not taking their association. When you're going them, you are giving your devotion to them rather than losing your devotion in their association. So to that degree, fine. But there are some arrogant and envious people, atheistic people. By associating with them, one thing, they don't take bhakti. They disturb our bhakti. Therefore, we need to stay away from them. Mahaprabhu said it. I'm not saying this. Mahaprabhu said that asat sanga tyaga yai Vaishnava achar. A part of Vaishnava achar is to give up asat sanga, bad association. Associating with materialistic people, bad people, atheistic people, we should just stay away from them. So there is an understanding that everybody is a child of God. From that plane, we are inclined to have good relationships with all living beings. But some people are in poor consciousness, bad consciousness. Associating with them will affect our own bhakti. Therefore, we need to stay away from them. So we need to have loving relationships with the devotees. So now the context is clear. We have come to the context of devotee relationships. Clear? Now, amongst devotees, how to cultivate Vaishnava relationships? How do I cultivate good friendships? Let's see this. Rupa Goswami has given a simple formula. What is that? Anyone knows? Dadati pratigrahanati. Give them gifts. Receive gifts on your birthday. And that's a very nice way of developing bonding. Dati pratigrahanati. Guhyamakhyati prachati. Reveal your heart in confidence. And when they are sharing something from their heart, you can definitely hear them empathetically. Then bhumte bhojayate chaiva. Feed them prasadam. And when they are offering prasadam, you take, not overeating, but like whatever is required. Right? Rupa Goswami said, eat. Daily, I'll be fed by 100 Vaishnavas. Rupa Goswami's instruction. Bhumte bhojayate chaiva. So these 6 simple loving exchanges can enhance friendships. But if these 6 loving exchanges are done with non-devotees, we'll cultivate an emotional bonding with them. That's very harmful to our spiritual life. With whomever you have these 6 loving exchanges, there is a bonding created. There is an emotional bonding created. Relationship becomes strengthened. Therefore, we need to interact with only devotees with these 6 loving exchanges, not with those who are atheistic or those who are not practicing bhakti. Then our emotions will be caught up there. They will become material emotions. With devotees, if we have these 6 loving exchanges, we will have spiritual emotions. With non-devotees, if we have these 6 loving exchanges, we will have material emotions, material relationships, material friendships. Okay. Therefore, 6 loving exchanges are very wonderful ways of cultivating Vaishnava friendships. But there's something more to that. With Vaishnavas, apart from 6 loving exchanges, what else should we do? Are they sufficient? Just giving them prasadam, eating prasadam. Sitting together in a revealing heart and hearing them. What is there in the heart matters. They are revealing their heart. What they are revealing? Gossip about another Vaishnava. Definitely that's there in the heart. They are revealing it. If you hear that poisonous words of blasphemy of another Vaishnava, that will corrupt our consciousness. Although 6 loving exchanges are there, we need to have proper discretion. Revealing heart means not revealing anything. First, heart should be pure. Practice bhakti, purify the heart and reveal that pure heart. Of course, when you have some struggles, some anarthas, you reveal your heart to a mature Vaishnava to seek help in overcoming that struggle. That kind of revealing heart is fine. They're helping each other to overcome certain anarthas. That kind of revealing heart is fine. But two immature or neophyte sadhakas, they sit together and they keep on gossiping about other devotees. Is that required? Will that enhance devotional service? Will that enhance our Vaishnava relationships? Is that what Rupa Goswami meant? Did Rupa Goswami mean to encourage gossip among struggling sadhakas about blasphemy towards other devotees? Is that Guhyamakyati Parchati? Dadati Pratigrahanati. Keep on expecting so many gifts from others and just pacifying them or soothing them with gifts. Gift ye de do, hamara kaam kar lega. He will do my work when I offer him some gift. The gifts are also exchanged with so many material thoughts, material motives. So just these 6 are not sufficient. 6, when they are done in proper consciousness, proper mood, will enhance friendships, spiritual friendships. But if there are material motives in these 6 loving exchanges, that will only keep the relationships on a material plane. So we need to spiritualize relationships. How do we do that? Let me go to Kunti Maharani's episode. She offers prayers. You remember? In the first canto, 8th chapter, Kunti Maharani tells Krishna, Atha Vishvesha Vishwatman Vishwamurte Svakeshu me Sneha Pashamimam Thindi Dradham Pandushu Vrishnishu. She said, Atha Vishvesha, O Lord, Master of the universe, Vishwatma, the super soul of the universe, Vishwamurte, the personification of the universe, Svakeshu me Sneha Pasham. I have a lot of Sneha Pasha, loving bonding with Svakeshu, my relatives. Who are they? Pandushu and Vrishnishu. It's like Sneha Pasham, a great bond of affection I have. Sneha is affection, Pasha means bond. I have a deep bond of affection towards Pandus and Vrishnis. Pandus are my husband's family, Vrishnis are my parents' family. I have great bonding. You know what I'm expecting from you? Sneha Pasham Imam Hindi, cut this loving bonding. Cut this affectionate bonding with my relatives, with Pandavas also, with Vrishnis also. Cut this. And do what? त्वयिमेनन्य विषया मतिर्मधुपते सकृत् रतिम उद्वहता दद्धा गंगे मोघम उदन्वती त्वयिमे ananya vishaya. Let my mind constantly think about you. Ananya vishaya means I don't want any other distractions towards Pandus or Vrishnis. Oh, my parental family, my husband's family, my sons, my relatives, my in-laws, my cousins, my sisters, my brothers. Let me not think like that. Matir madhupati sakrit. Let my mind think only about you. How? Ratim udvahada daddha. My mind should have attraction towards you. My mind should constantly flow towards you. How? Yatha Gangambo Sambudo. The way Ganga flows towards the ocean despite having hundreds and thousands of obstacles on the way. Similarly, my mind also should think only about you, nothing else. Not even Pandavas and Vrishnis. That is Kunti Maharani's prayer. But is it really required for us to cut our affectionate relationships with family members to really go to Krishna? Is it required? Is that what Kunti Mata meant? No. Kunti Maharani had two types of relationships with her relatives, Pandus and Vrishnis. Pandavas and Vrishnis are definitely her biological family members. So there is an external, physical, bodily relationship, the skin relation. But there is a soul relation also, spiritual relation also, because they are Vaishnavas. Pandavas are great devotees, Vrishnis are also devotees. So Kunti Maharani wants to preserve that relationship with Pandavas and Vrishnis on a spiritual plane. Let me love them, not because they are my family members, but because they are your devotees. In Vaishnava circles, one devotee loves another devotee because he or she is a devotee of Krishna, not because he or she is connected to me physically or biologically or in a family way. There's a blood relation. So love towards another devotee should be based on their love for Krishna and your love for Krishna. And Krishna should be the center of relationship and not body. Relationships centered on body will have a beginning and an ending. But relationships centered on Krishna are spiritual, they're not material. So we need to spiritualize our relationships, not materialize spiritual relationships. And with the devotees, we are sitting and discussing Prajalpa and some gossip and some kind of mundane topics. We are materializing spirit. And with family members, we are sitting and discussing about Hari Katha. We are spiritualizing matter. Either we spiritualize matter or materialize spirit. It's in our hands. So when we keep Krishna as the center of our relationships, when we love other devotees for their love for Krishna rather than they being connected to us on a material platform, that will enhance our bhakti. You are from Andhra, I'm also from Andhra. So there's love. You are from Delhi, I'm also from Delhi. Love. Okay, relationship may begin like that. That's fine, no problem. In America, there are most people are here Indian, sitting here. Fine, there may be some initial bonding because of that. But if an American shows inclination in bhakti, so will you not have friendship with that person? They are also welcome in the Sangha. Right? So let's not have body or geographical location, or any other external material consideration as the center of relationships. Let's keep Krishna in the center. This devotee or this living being is a child of God. I am also a child of God. Therefore, we have a natural spiritual relationship, whether we acknowledge it or not, know it or not, or act on the platform or not. We have a relationship. Although I'm meeting most of you for the first time, maybe second time, yesterday also we met. Still, we have an eternal relationship with each other. Because we are all anxious of Krishna. We are all servants of Krishna. Our Swarupa is to be a sevak of Krishna. Jivara Swarubhai Krishna Nityadas. Although we are not aware, we are already related to each other as servants of Krishna. We have spiritual relationship. Our relationship is centered on Krishna. That's more permanent. That's eternal. But relationships that are based on body, they're temporary. So this is how we need to cultivate Vaishnava relationships by keeping Krishna in the center. Now my next question is how to keep Krishna in the center of our relationships. Machitta madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam kathayantasya mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. Sit together and discuss Harikatha. That's all. Relationship will become spiritual. The subject matter of our discussion when we meet another devotee should be Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, and nothing else. And of course, Krishna Seva is there. To execute a particular Seva, you may have to discuss something. Now you are discussing about these tripods and iPhone and all these wires and mic and other things. These are material energy. But your discussion about these gadgets is for Krishna Katha. Right? So that kind of discussion is fine. Krishna Seva related discussions are spiritual. But in the name of discussing about Krishna Seva, if we just get into little gossip, overly analyzing things, now tripod, iPhone, this and that, fine. Then you keep on analyzing how many hundreds of types of tripods are there, and how many models of iPhone are there, how many apps are there in the iPhone, which app is better in what way. 10 hours will go in the discussion. Is that required? Whatever is useful in Krishna Seva, that much you can discuss, not beyond that. So, we have only limited time, maximum 100 years. Even in that 100 years also, initially, 10, 20 years will go in innocence. Last, 20, 30 years will go in taking medicine. Right? So how much time is left for us? Active time is hardly a couple of decades, not more than that. First 20, 25 years of life will just go in chasing a good career. Then once you have the career, proper job, then again a lot of time goes in, acquiring a home, car, this and that facilities, raising children. So like that, there's a lot of, mandatory, inevitable responsibilities that an average human being is just carrying. So amidst all this, if you don't prioritize and allocate substantial amount of time for spiritual activities, we may miss the opportunity of human life. We have to do all that, of course. For self-preservation, we need to work. We need to earn money. So that's required. But if our whole life is centered on self-preservation only, and we are not doing anything about self-realization, you are wasting human form of life. When I say self-preservation, that self is body. When I say self-realization, that self is soul. Self-realization and self-preservation should go hand in hand. Do the needful to maintain the body and also feed the soul with Hari Katha, with Hari Nam, with Hari Seva, and loving exchanges with other devotees. So to have good loving dealings with other devotees, we need to cultivate good character. Just one thing. When you see another devotee, a friend, If you notice some ulterior motives in that person, will you be able to reveal your heart sincerely? And when you meet the person, once in 2, 3 years or 4 years, how much subject matter you will have? You may catch up for a few minutes, but how much subject matter do you have to discuss with them? Not much. So our relationships must be based on two things. One, purity of intentions. Two, frequency of interactions. We need to interact frequently with other devotees, not that seeing them once in a while. Therefore, satsang programs are important. Coming together is important. Like when we come together for a class, for example, we may know everything that is mentioned in the class, or we may know most of it. We can even give that class also. Then why should we go to satsang program? So when we're coming together, it's not that we may be discussing something very new. I just narrated Kunti Maharani's prayers. How many have read Kunti Maharani's prayers already? Practically most of you. And we also discussed Daksha's story and Shiva's story. How many of you know the story already? Practically all of you. Even kids know this. Not that we are here to discuss something new, but we are together with some Krishna Katha in the center. Right? So we come together, spend time with each other, see each other, serve each other, feed each other, meet with each other, and do some Krishna conscious activity together, chant holy names of Krishna together. How many of you know Hare Krishna mantra? He's chanting the same mantra 10 times before the class. I know this mantra, it's okay. Next. That's not the point. Come together, chant the same mantra, hear the same, discuss the same topics. Same Krishna Katha. Every Narsimha Chaturdashi, we speak 7th canto only. Every Janmashtami, we speak some 10th canto, Krishna's appearance. Every Nityananda Tradashi, we speak about Nityananda Prabhu. Every Gaur Purnima, we speak some Chaitanya Charitamrita. Topic is same. But why 1,000 people attend on that festival day? The idea is not to get something new or do something new. The idea is to be together with Krishna in the center, to worship Krishna, to hear about Krishna, to discuss about Krishna. So that's what, and to cultivate friendships with other devotees. Even in a home also, every day same routine. Morning, cook food, eat food, then do some work whole day, sleep in the night, again get up, do the same thing. Right? And that's how interactions are based on. But in that so much loving bonding is happening. So Vaishnava relationships must be based on Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center, and we can keep Krishna in center by discussing Krishna Katha as revealed in this beautiful shloka, Mat Chitta Matgata Prana. Parasparanu Kathanam Pavanam Bhagavad-Gishah Mithoratihi Mithatushtir Nivrittir Mitha Atmanaha. Paraspara Anukathanam, and we discuss together with each other. Pavanam Bhagavad-Gishah. That Anukathanam, that discussion about Krishna, discussion about Krishna's glories, Bhagavad-Gishah, can completely purify our hearts. Pavanam. Mithor Ratihi means our rati, our attraction towards each other will increase. Towards Krishna will increase. Mitha Tushtir, our satisfaction will increase. Nivrittir Mitha Atmanaha means our attraction towards material existence will be completely eradicated. When one devotee is speaking about Krishna, what's your name, bro?
Lokesh.
Lokesh Prabhu. When Lokesh Prabhu is speaking about Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Krishna, our Kulashekar Prabhu is hearing that. He is glorifying Krishna and he is hearing. When you are hearing him, you will understand how much he loves Krishna. That will increase your appreciation for Krishna. That will also increase your appreciation for him. Next time when you glorify Lord Krishna, based on Mukundamala Sutra, right? Then his appreciation for Krishna will increase and his appreciation for you will increase. Thus, you both will come closer to Krishna and you both will come closer to each other also. It's like this. We are going up also, we are going towards each other also. Right? Movement is towards each other, movement is towards Krishna also. Like that. There you go. And there are so many people, like many hands are coming like this, like a fountain. All are coming united and then going towards Krishna. That's what is happening by hearing Krishna. But when they're interacting with other devotees, only based on service, for example, then you will evaluate their efficiency in doing that service. How efficient he is in doing that service. How resourceful is this person in doing that service. We evaluate them or we appreciate them based on their capacity, their efficiency, their capability in doing things. But unless we hear Krishna Katha from them, we cannot appreciate how much they love for Krishna. Develop appreciation towards other devotees for how much they love Krishna, not how talented are they, how skillful are they, how resourceful are they, how efficient are they. They're important for doing some service. But service attitude is more important than service itself. Service is important, but service attitude is more important. The mood of surrendering service is more important. So, if you see, Daksha did so much service. So, service accomplishment is very great, but mood is not there. It's not the right mood. He's very proud, he's very arrogant. But Shiva, he also did so much service, but in terms of creating population in the universe, he kind of failed. But his character is great. So appreciate the other devotee for the service mood, service attitude. With what consciousness is rendering service, rather than how much service he has done. How much service then is important, definitely. We are not undermining that. We are not belittling the amount of service that they have done. But attitude behind service is more important than the magnitude of service. Yesterday also we discussed, right? Attitude behind service is more important than magnitude of service. A squirrel can do this much, Hanuman can do that much. But both are doing their best. That's great. Also, in our relationships with other devotees, there are a lot of differences of opinion, a lot of disagreements. You can disagree, but don't disrespect. You can have a difference in opinion, but there is no difference in the mantra that we are chanting. There is no difference in the goal that we have. Krishna Prema is our goal. All of us are sharing a common goal. When we are neophytes or beginners or immature, we focus on the differences more. When we are mature enough, then we will not focus on the differences, we focus on the commonalities. We focus on the harmony. Actually, although people are of different natures, different types and different mindsets, when they come together to render different aspects of service to Krishna, then that garland is beautiful. That our service is beautiful. Now here you see, in this garland, there are big roses, there are small roses, there's some kind of lavender and white kind of flowers. So there are 3-4 types of flowers are there. They're like pure white Shevantis, I think. So there are some 3-4 kinds of flowers, therefore the garland is looking so beautiful. You add little more green here, some leaves here, you add some red flowers there, that beautifully increase. Now just imagine there's only one color throughout, every day. For the rest of eternity. Monotonous, right? So now you see, you put some green leaves and red flowers here. That has certain style. And when there is variety, that variety and diversity will add to beauty if they're harmonious to each other. If there is harmony in variety, that will add to beauty. But if there is only conflict in the variety, that will add to commotion. That will just completely dismantle the spirit of the community. So we can be different from each other. We have to be different from each other. We are different from each other, no doubt. in our working styles, in our capacities, in our moods, in our talents and skills. We are different from each other. So we can do different services to Krishna. Different types of services are required for Krishna. So when we have a Vaishnava community that has so many types of devotees or so many um, devotees who are of different natures and different talents and different backgrounds and different skill sets, then we can render great service to Krishna. So the differences in our talents and habits and mm, and abilities should become a cause of celebration for us, not conflict between us. Let me tell you one small story from Ramayana. When Vibhishan came to surrender to Lord Ramachandra asked all the Vanaras, should we accept Vibhishan or not? Different Vanaras gave different opinions. Sugriva, the king of all the monkeys, he said, "O Lord, we are not supposed to accept Vibhishan as our friend. For a simple reason that he is a demon. Not just a demon, he is the brother of Ravan. Not just brother of Ravan, he is coming to take your shelter just before the war. We are about to fight with Ravan, and at this critical moment, looks like Ravan personally had sent Vibhishan to make friendship with you so that you can understand. He can understand our military secrets and send a secret WhatsApp message to Ravan. So don't accept him. I would suggest just kill him. That's what Sugriva said. Ram asked Hanuman, Hanuman, what's your opinion? Hanuman said, I studied the demeanor of Vibhishan. He is very genuine. With all sincerity, he has come to your lotus feet to seeking your friendship and seeking your shelter. You can accept him. Not just that, Hanumanji had more experience. When Hanumanji went to Lanka to search for Sita Devi, he already saw Vibhishan. Sugriva is seeing Vibhishan for the first time, but Hanumanji saw him much before only. He would understand his genuinity. So Hanumanji said, let's just accept him. Now, whose words should Ram accept? One devotee. Sugriva also Vaishnava. He is a devotee. And in fact, it is Sugriva who has mobilized all these hundreds and thousands and millions of Vanaras all the way to Lanka so that they can assist Lord Ramachandra in rescuing Sita Devi. Sugriva is in a very high position, no doubt. Hanumanji is not a king. Hanumanji is like one of the soldiers of Sugriva, of course, one of the prominent soldiers of Sugriva, but Hanumanji is not the king. But Sugriva is the king. King is saying no. Hanuman is saying yes. And whose opinion that should Ram accept? Apart from external considerations of who is king and who is normal soldier, there are other considerations, spiritual considerations. Both are devotees of Krishna. Which devotee's word should be valued more? You know what Ramachandra said? He has his own quality of forgiveness and mercy. He said, Sakradeva prapannoyam tavasmiti yachati abhayam sarvada tasmai dadam yetadvatam mama. Forget Vibhishan, even if Ravana personally comes and surrenders unto me, I will forgive all his offenses, I will accept my dear friend. I will give him shelter. I have taken this vow. Hearing this, Sugriva said, oh, Ram, is this your mood? Then I will align with your mood. I will change my opinion. I will take back my words. I told you, kill Vibhishan, but I will take back those words. I told you, don't make friendship with Vibhishan. I take back my words. I'm sorry. This difference of opinion between Sugriva and Hanuman did not disrupt their relationship. You can disagree, but don't disrespect. You can have a different opinion, but ensure that your different opinion doesn't disrupt your relationship with another people. Very important. You can have a different traits. No problem. You're unique. Everybody is unique. But differences that we have should not disrupt our relationships. That we have to prioritize it. We need to prioritize that. So what did Hanuman do? What did Ram do? Let's accept Vibhishan. So Hanumanji did not have any pride that Ram accepted my opinion, he rejected the king's opinion. And I am telling him, I'm better, I'm more dear to Ram. He never said like that. Hanumanji had absolutely no tinge of pride or superiority complex. Sugriva did not have any tinge of envy or inferiority complex. And the relationship between Hanuman and Sugriva continued as it is. Just imagine, because we know the story, we can take it for granted. Just imagine you are in the position of Sugriva and Hanuman is in the position of, someone else is in the position of Hanuman, and you are interacting with your guru or your leader or your president or whatever. And you don't know the outcome. You know the entire Ramayana, now it's very easy for you. There is some decision to be taken. And you have certain proposal, another devotee has another proposal, and the senior person is accepting your other person's proposal and not your proposal. And you have all your logic. With whatever information that Sugriva had, with whatever understanding Sugriva had about Vibhishan, he made that proposal of killing him, or destroying him, or not, at least not accepting him, which is perfectly logical. As a king of Vanaras, he's supposed to think from that angle only. Suddenly, the enemy's brother comes and says, I want to make friendship with you just before war. Naturally, king has to think from the security perspective, right? So, Sugriva's proposal is perfectly valid, and he is perfectly aligned with Ram's safety. What will serve the best interests of Lord Ramachandra? By not accepting Vibhishan, we can do better service to Ram. And he's convinced about it. But Hanumanji had a different opinion based on his understanding. So every devotee is acting according to the best of his or her realization. Please understand this. To the best of the intelligence and experience of Sugriva, he made that proposal, which is valid. With whatever information he had, with whatever intelligence he had, with whatever position he had, he gave the best proposal from his side. But Hanumanji happened to have more information. He's more mature. So he gave another proposal, which is a little different. Similarly, in a community of Vaishnavas, everybody is trying to act according to the best of one's understanding. But when two understandings or two proposals come for a comparison, one seems to be better than the other. And even if a not so better, not so great proposal is accepted also, still the principle in this pastime is let that difference of opinion not disrupt your relationship. That's the point I want to make. I have no input on how to reconcile all these differences of opinions. Because in Ramayana, Ram was personally there to say, I like this one, I don't like this one. And Sugriva readily accepted. But when you both have a different opinion, Ram will not come and resolve, right? Ram is not there. And there may be some senior devotee with whom you may not readily accept as much as you accept from Ram. Ram says, I will accept. You say, I will not accept. Right? So I have no comment on that area. Timeless circumstances. But the point is, whether you agree with other person or don't agree with other person, don't destroy the relationship. At least don't disrespect the person. By the way, in a community of devotees, you may not have intimate and close relationship and bonding with every single devotee. That you understand. It's not possible also. And it's not necessary also. You have a handful of close friends and you are polite and gentle and nice with everyone else. Sufficient. You may not do Guhyamakati Prachati with every single devotee, but you have a couple of friends with whom you do Guhyamakati Prachati. So you need to be practical in devotional service. Although Devotee's aspiration, we began with that. Punascha Bhuyat Bhagavat Kenanti, Parikshit Maharaj, Sudama flourished. They are aspiring for cordial relationship with every single person. But for all practical purposes, that kind of made into small by saying only devotees. And amongst devotees also, there are like-minded devotees. Like-minded devotees. Swajatiya devotees. What is Swajatiya? You like deity worship, they also like deity worship. Fine, you both sit together and discuss what are the colors of the dresses that we need to make, what kind of garlands can we make, what kind of bhoga can we offer, how elaborate should be the festival arrangements. That's your discussion about Krishna Seva. But somebody is not so much into deity worship. They are into book distribution. Fine. Where to distribute books? Can we go to that company and distribute? Can we put a stall here? Can we inspire people online? Can we also try to distribute what is inside the book apart from only the book? Right? Many times we distribute the book, but we forget to distribute what is inside the book. We sell it. Take this, $5. Fine, you got the $5. But what's the book about? What's there inside? The significance also we need to communicate. We can say a few things, but the more we know about the book, the more we develop a bonding and relationship with the book, the more we can communicate better. Significance. Many times we try to tell them just to allure them to purchase it. Once it is sold, my job is over. No. that endeavor can go on. But apart from that, trying to explain what is there in the book and trying to follow up, and anyways, I'm not so much into that. But I'm trying to just make a point that distributing what is inside the book is also important, apart from distributing only the book itself. Right? So some people write book distribution. That can bring them together. Some devotees are managing a big center. So there can be managerial discussion, Krishna-centered discussion. Some people like Shastra, they sit together and they discuss Shastra. So like that, you can have close friendships with devotees who are of like-minded nature. And with others, you can have normal cordial relationships. So like that, we should not disrespect any devotee. We should not demean or discourage any devotee. Every devotee must be valued for what he or she contributes to the best of their ability. And every devotee must be appreciated. And together we discuss Krishna Katha and cultivate our character and come closer to Krishna. When another devotee is flourishing in bhakti, that should only give us inspiration and not insecurity. Narada Muni says, Gunadhikan mudam lipset anukrosham gunadhamat maitrim samanadan vichin natakairabhibhuyate. Guna adhikan mudam lipset. When you see a person who is better than you, be happy. Don't envy. When you see a person who is less qualified than you, either in age or experience or talents, offer a helping hand. Support them. Don't oppress them or suppress them or discourage them or demean them. When you see a person who is equally qualified like you, don't try to compete with them, but befriend them. In this way, you need to deal with these three kinds of people in this world. Only three kinds of people are there. Whomever you meet, you can put them into these three categories. They're more qualified than you, they're less qualified than you, they're equally qualified like you. Only three categories. If they're more qualified, what should we do? Respect, serve, take inspiration, be happy. What we should not do? Don't envy. When they're equally qualified like you, what we should not do? Don't compete. What should we do? Befriend. When they are less qualified than you, what should we not do? Don't discourage, don't oppress or suppress. What should we do? Encourage and offer a helping hand, be compassionate. If we just follow these three do's and three don'ts with three categories of people, relationships are cordial, beautiful, amazing. Right? Easier said than done. But we should try to do it as much as possible. And being grateful for whatever little favors that we receive. Mother Earth can tolerate any amount of burden, but not the burden of an ungrateful person. So, gratitude. Dhruva Maharaj was guided by his mother when he was a 5-year-old boy in Bhakti. After 36,000 years, Dhruva Maharaj was going to the spiritual world. He's going to Dhruvalanka. He boarded Vaikuntha airplane. Then he did not want to proceed in the airplane. He wanted to jump off the airplane. Why? He remembered his mother. 36,000 years back, my mother inspired me to worship Lord Vishnu. How can I go back to Godhead without my mother? Let me take my mother also. Then Nanda and Sananda, the Vishnu Dutas, they said, your mother is already going, don't worry. See another airplane. Both mother and son went. Gratitude. The principle here is gratitude. We are guided in our bhakti by our mothers or fathers or brothers or friends and many other devotees, gurus and Siksha gurus, Diksha gurus. We received so much of guidance and support and favor in spiritual life from so many people. We can never forget that. We should never forget that. We should be grateful to all of them. Another quality is forgiveness. In our interactions with other devotees, we should demonstrate forgiveness. They will do some mistakes. It's okay. Forgive. The mistake is really gross and that affected so many people badly, then you need to take a disciplinary action. Internally, you should forgive the person, but externally, take a necessary action. Internally, you're forgiving means you're not holding any grudge or negativity or hatred towards the person. But externally, you're taking a disciplinary action. What does that mean? You're desiring the person's improvement. He did this mistake. It's not a small thing that to be ignored or excused. It's a major mistake. So they need to be corrected. You need to pull the ear. Take a disciplinary action for their improvement, not for your grudge. Punishment is inflicted upon a wrongdoer not to take revenge, but to rectify the rebellious mentality of the person. Thus, when we are very gracious and loving and well-wishing, even in corrections, we can retain relationships. It's like parents correct children when they do mistakes. That's not done out of grudge. There's no envy there. Their well-wishing nature makes them correct and even chastise or scold when they do something wrong. Forgiveness, gratitude, compassion, respect, genuinely respecting them for what they are and what they contribute. So all these qualities are required for us to develop our own Vaishnava character to come closer to the Lord and also become dear to other devotees. I'll conclude with one shloka. A couple of days back, I was discussing this shloka. Harer gunakshipta matihi bhagavan badarayani adhyagan mahadakhyanam nityam vishnu janapriyah. Harer guna akshipta matihi. Sukadeva Goswami studied Srimad Bhagavatam and his mind became completely captivated with the qualities of Krishna, qualities of Madhari. Adhyagan mahadakhyanam nityam vishnu janapriyah. Because he studied Srimad Bhagavatam and he developed great appreciation towards Krishna's qualities, Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha, he became very dear to all the devotees. And all the devotees became very dear to him. What does it mean? His relationships with other devotees are based on his absorption in Krishna's qualities. And his absorption in Krishna's qualities is based on studying Srimad Bhagavatam. When you study Srimad Bhagavatam, when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam, then you develop appreciation for Krishna's qualities. And when you develop appreciation for Krishna's qualities, all the devotees of Krishna will become attractive to you, and you become attractive to other devotees, and naturally, your relationships will be cordial. That's the essence of developing Vaishnava character and developing good relationships with other devotees. There's much more we can discuss, We can have a series of sessions on this, but I think I'll conclude here. It's way beyond time. Any questions or comments? Yes, Prabhu, please.
You mentioned 2 points about one is the purity of the heart and the frequency of meeting the people. The question I have is the purity of heart. What are the practical ways, something which you can apply or kind of one Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya reading that we constantly hear it, but what is more we can apply it in our daily life? Things that can basically use it every day.
Purity of intentions. What does it mean? No mood to discourage or cheat other devotees. No mood to exploit them. No mood to take advantage of their simplicity and try to use them for our purposes. Don't try to manipulate other devotees. Don't try to cheat them. So this is called purity of heart in interactions. When we are interacting with other devotees, I was speaking about purity of intentions and frequency of interactions. 2 things. Purity of intention and frequency of interaction. Purity of intention basically is not to take them for granted and not cheating them, not exploiting them, not taking advantage of them, and genuinely being a well-wisher of the other person. That's pure intention. Even if we correct them, scold them, punish them, or engage them in service or whatever it is, it has to be done with pure intentions. A leader, when he engages some people in some service, the intention is not to use them to become successful, but to assist them to become successful. I want to become successful, I want to achieve this, let me engage them in my service. That's one way of understanding what a leader is supposed to be doing. But another way of understanding what a leader is supposed to be doing is they need to be successful. For them, they need to participate in this service. They will grow by doing this. They will flourish in their contribution to Prabhupada's movement. So you may be leading a project. You may be taking some initiative to render some service to Krishna. For that, you need manpower, and then you are engaging some devotees in that service. But it's not just, I want to achieve this and let them assist me. They need to be purified, and this service is good for them to grow. Right? A well-wishing intention. That matters a lot. Does it make sense? That is answer the question?
Yeah, I think what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, especially when you say you give the credit enough to whomever the credit should go to instead of taking credit on you or give the credit to them.
Yeah, credit is there. Apart from that, be a well-wisher.
Yeah.
That's the essence of the answer. Be a genuine well-wisher. That's pure intention. Just wishing their well and no other ulterior motive in interaction. Whether you are engaging them in service or scolding them or whatever you are doing, you are a well-wisher. Just desiring their welfare. That's pure intention in interactions.
Unless until I give up my kind of, I need not to be in the limelight, or unless until I give up that kind of attitude, otherwise my pure intention won't come out. Right?
That's one aspect of it. So, one aspect is a person desires to be in limelight and utilizes others.
Yeah.
Sometimes to do a service, you may have to be in the front line. Yesterday we discussed, right? In Gundicha Marjan,
yeah.
There is an important service like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally cleansed the Simhasana. He did not allow it to others. And he was taking resistance of so many people. Many people are bringing pots and giving him, and he is cleaning the Simhasana. So when you are capable, when you are experienced, when you are senior, sometimes it's your responsibility to take up the most crucial role or the lead role or what is that limelight role. You cannot keep someone who is less experienced in that role. To that degree, being in limelight is not the issue. Being proud is the issue. Yes. Engaging other people is not the issue. Suppressing them and oppressing them is the issue. Leader has to engage people, of course, no doubt. But in a mood of helping them grow and rendering service to Krishna, and not in a mood of just bossing over them, dictating them, or oppressing them, or suppressing them, or showing one's own superiority. So, mood matters. Any other question? So,
what you mentioned, being a good character is more important. To build a good relationships. You have also mentioned that serving and cultivating a devotee, like-minded devotee, and you have decided the definition of like-minded devotees who are doing the same type of service. Because their inclination.
that's one angle to it.
So my question is that when I'm spending more and more time with doing a seva with those devotees who like such similar type of seva. That's where my most passion takes place. But sometimes seva is so absorbing that there is no direct intention to do Krishna Katha also while doing rendering the service. So what should be the remedy? Should we figure it out that how to do Krishna Katha while rendering service?
Whichever service you take up, it's not that 24/7 you will do only that service with absolutely no time left for speaking about Krishna with other devotees. Where there is a will, there is a way. It can be little minimal, considering the nature of the service, but it's possible. It's doable. We have to make it doable. And you may have multiple friends with which you have multiple types of interactions. With some people, you primarily focus on seva, and with some other devotees, you only discuss Krishna Katha. That is also possible. You can have multiple friends. I know in the place where I live, we have some devotees who are very artistic. They can present the deities nicely, they can paint the deity's face nicely, they can tie the turban nicely. When I interact with them, mostly I have deity worship related discussions, deity dressing related discussions with them. There are some people who are more into studying Shastra. With them, I discuss shlokas. I discuss minor nuances of certain pastimes. And there are some devotees that like doing a lot of services. So with them, there is like more managerial kind of discussions. Like that, you can have multiple friends with whom you discuss multiple Krishna conscious topics. But core Krishna Katha, discussion about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, can also happen or should also happen at least with a couple of devotees. If you don't find anyone on a regular basis, with whomever you meet, you're taking prasadam. Now after program, there's prasadam, right? You are sitting together with 2-3 devotees and discussing. Why not discuss Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela? Why only the recipe of the prasadam? Recipe can be there. The next program you can make a similar item, that's fine. But there can be more core Harikatha also. If possible, you can try that.
It's grateful for the nectar. So the question that I wanted to ask is, so like-minded devotees I know, but it was here.
Yeah, maybe as a devotee can ask, meanwhile you can compose the question.
So there is one question online. So Subhadra Rani Mataji is asking, I can able to forgive a devotee, but I'm unable to forget.
Forget.
Now, how to do this?
Being able to forgive itself is a big thing. Able to forgive, that's amazing. As far as forgetting is concerned, it will take time. It may take a long time also, depending on how bitter is the experience with them. That much time it will take. It's okay, no problem. But you have forgiven, right? That's fine. Yeah. Forgetfulness may not happen immediately. Sometimes you may forget only in the next lifetime. Entire lifetime you may remember it. But as long as there is no grudge or negativity or hatred, that's a good thing. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned about two things like materialized spirit and then the spiritualized matters. So when the devotees speak about like some material things that is materialized spirits, but the spiritual matter like with who are not inclined hearing about Krishna consciousness, like our own family members, how we can spiritualize material to them.
Oh, family members, we discussed. We have spiritual family members, we have some biological family members. But for all practical purposes, with whom we have some blood relation, skin relation, we may consider them our family members primarily. If they are not inclined to bhakti, how do we deal with it? If they're parents, we must respect. Whether they accept our path or not, we have to respect. Never abuse, never ridicule, never forget what all they have done to you. That's our responsibility, to be forever grateful to them whole life. If they accept, that's great. If they don't accept the path, fine. You stick to the path, but respect them and treat them gently and serve them as much as you can. If it is other people, then you can just do the needful in the relationship, but we are not very close. Do the needful. If you happen to be their nephew or whatever, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, or sister, brother, cousin, just do the needful in the relationship, but stick to the path. Pray for them, give them prasadam, inspire them. There are ways of trying to bring them to Krishna consciousness. If we are unable to do it, we can always bring them in touch with other devotees who can try to do it. You tried multiple methods, somehow it's not working. You have already tried for 5 years, 10 years, it didn't work. That's okay. Just maintain the relationship, do the needful in the relationship. Whatever is expected of you, you can do it beautifully, judiciously, and stick to the path. Does it make sense?
Hare Krishna Guru. I have a few questions for you. One is, I think you maybe partially answered and Prabhuji Ramananda asked you. What if we don't find like-minded devotees? But I think you said we should make an effort to talk to each devotee like about what they like, right? So instead of just maybe thinking about us.
No, you may not go to each devotee interview. What do you like? What do you like? What do you like? Oh, it's not matching. Cut. Okay. You can't just keep on finding compatibility. And that's-
But when you sit with some devotees, like sometimes it's very hard to find like-minded devotees.
In a community where there are 100 people, like couple of people may be more like-minded than others. It's all relative. You cannot get a perfectly compatible friend in all ways. Everybody is unique. So within the available set, you can pick up the best possible option. Many people have these phones. They keep on comparing features, which is the best thing that suits me. His camera is good, but it doesn't have good memory. His memory is great, but it doesn't have good screen quality. RAM is not great. I don't know all specifications, but but whatever is available, the best in the market that suits your budget, that you take it. Similarly, we can also begin somewhere.
And also, Rajiv, sometimes how do we distinguish between gossip and a devotee sharing their hurt?
Very important question. When someone is sharing their heart, especially some sensitive matters, they're sharing their appreciation in Bhagavad Gita shloka, no problem. No controversy there, no issue. I read this Ananyas Chintayantamam shloka, I read Manmana Bhava Madhbhakta shloka, I liked it so much. You can hear, that's Krishna Katha, pure Krishna Katha. But if somebody is sharing their heart mainly about some sensitive subject matter, about some other devotee or some pain that they had experienced in their personal life, or some issue they had with another person, or some financial crisis or health crisis, many things. Devotees, an average devotee may experience so many kinds of problems. They are expressing it to you. Now, if you are able to solve the problem, or at least you are able to empathetically hear their expression of the problem without getting affected by it, you can entertain them, you can hear them as a service. Give them some solace. If you can actually help, that's great. If you can't help, at least give them the satisfaction of being heard for some time, and give them some, console them, pacify them. If you can't physically offer some support, at least emotionally offer some support. To that degree, it's fine. But if their expression of heart is affecting your consciousness, especially if it's some sensitive matter about another devotee, they're expressing it to you, and you have good friendship with other devotee, but they are speaking a little bad or some bitter experience that they had with them, it's affecting your consciousness. You can either directly express that, no, I think I'm not the right person to hear this. Maybe you can go to this leader, this senior devotee who can help you in a better way. I won't be able to help you. If you speak to me, you'll waste your time, I'll waste my time. Better escalate the matter to someone who can help you. So you can gently, diligently, intelligently transfer the responsibility to some mature person who can handle it.
Sometimes I feel like the way we are, our profession or what the place of work will also guide our personality a little bit, and that might sometimes come across as good behavior. Meaning that, for example, at workplace, it's pure professionalism. I'm talking about certain cases where your work, finish it, or you don't engage in any, verbal, talk, discussion with anybody, and then you're off. Sometimes that behavior can be carried into temper too, and sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes it could be just part of something that you picked up over your lifetime. So sometimes it's hard to, how do we let go that? So how do we let go that and then start trusting other devotees or open yourself to other devotees?
Yes, the way for that also is to come together and discuss Krishna Katha. That will solve so many of such discomforts and other things. The Krishna element, the glorification of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela is so potent that it can resolve so many things. It can ease our interactions. It can bring us closer to each other. It can help us transcend the trivial tribulations of life. It can eradicate certain reservations or perceptions that we have in our interactions with other devotees. It can bring us closer in various ways. And it can also remove certain anarthas that we are having and certain inhibitions that we have in coming closer to others. It can increase trust amongst devotees. Krishna Katha is the greatest verse. Vyamoha prashamaushadham munimano vritti pravrityaushadham daityendratikar tribhuvane sanjeevanaikaushadham bhaktatyantahitaushadham bhavabhaya pradhamsanaikaushadham Shreya praptikaraushadham pibamana Sri Krishna divyaushadham. Krishna Katha is an aushadha. so many shortcomings and flaws and faults or deficiencies of Kali Yuga. If I start explaining this shloka, it will take a lot of time, but that will ease the interactions.
Yeah, Krishna.
Mother is waiting. You can ask Mother.
What has actually inspired you to follow this path of devotion, and especially ISKCON? Like usually people go to Shiva, they worship Shiva, and for many years they worship Shiva. So, what was your path, and what made you to go to Krishna and follow ISKCON? Because all this happens all of a sudden. Like some situation to make you to go to Krishna, or some person will motivate you. So, what was your path?
I'll keep it brief. In short, Krishna pulled me. That just pulls us on our own. Yeah, we are incapable. I would give all the credit to Krishna. In my BTech, I had some good scores, academic scores. Some of my friends told, you apply to IIT, you'll get good departments and placements or admissions into IITs. So we applied. Then one day when I came back home from college in my last semester, my father brought an application of IISc, Indian Institute of Science. IIT applications were 200 to 215 rupees. The father managed to afford that. This IISc application is 600 rupees in those days, 2005. He could not afford that. But he went on cycle and then brought it. I didn't know the existence of a college called IISc in those days. I am sure he also doesn't know. Someone suggested to him, who till now I don't know. He directly brought the application also. For all applications, he had a lot of discussion at home, but he just brought it. By the time I came back from college, it's there. Fine. Let me feel it's a ritual for me. Already I filled application for Chennai and some other places. Another ritual, just filled and then sent it. I didn't get admission in any IIT. I got in IISc. And as I went to IISc, on the first day of my college, they first gave me the hostel room keys. I took the keys, entered the hostel room, and I found a big picture of Krishna. This big, maybe bigger than this. Maybe the person who was living in that hostel room before me, he must have kept it. I don't know. Who is that person? I don't know till now. Big picture of Krishna, Murali Krishna, with a parrot, couple of parrots, and peacock, and Krishna holding a flute, peeping into the window. Very popular picture, you must have seen. So I saw that. And I told the cleaning guy, I'll complete my admission formalities and come back. Don't remove this picture. I came after a couple of hours. He removed it. I didn't know Kannada. I didn't know Hindi. He didn't know Telugu or English. Maybe he thought I advised him to remove it. Somehow I lost the picture. I was quite disappointed. I was quite spontaneously attracted to it, but later I got disappointed that I lost it. So my aunt was there in Bangalore, resident of Bangalore. She said, this kind of pictures are available in ISKCON. I said, what is ISKCON? He said, ISKCON means Krishna temple. She did not know International Society for Krishna Consciousness. ISKCON means Krishna temple. Fine, whatever it is, take me. So that's how I went to the ISKCON temple for the first time, searching for that picture. When I went, on the book distribution table, the big picture was there. I asked for it. He said 20 rupees. I said, I'll pay. But he is very smart, ISKCON book distributor. He showed me Krishna book. You take this picture, you take this book, that picture is free for you. I opened the book and I found many stories and many other paintings also like that. I saw the quality of paper in the paintings. This quality, that quality, same. 20 rupees. One picture. 100 rupees? No, many pictures like that, smaller ones. I took the book, Prabhupada's book, and Krishna's picture came into my hostel. 3 months passed. That's my first touch with ISKCON. 3 months passed, and one devotee, not one devotee, one classmate came to my room and asked, "Are you an ISKCON devotee?" I again asked, "What does that mean?" He said, "There are some ISKCON devotees in your hostel room, in your hostel block only. They are doing some Mangalarti, they are chanting some japa, they are discussing Bhagavatam. If you want, I can introduce you to them." I said, "I don't mind." And that's how that book and that picture, after 3 months, brought me in touch with devotees.
We thought
A couple of years later, I am in ashram. So getting an ISC application itself is a miracle. Getting into that hostel room, that room only, where picture was there, that's another thing. Searching for that picture, going to ISKCON, seeing that picture, somebody introduced me to devotees. So we are nimitta matram, Krishna princess. How did I get into books? Krishna pulled me. How did I get into kids' books? Krishna pulled me. We are nimitta matram. Does it answer your question?
So most probably like we know theoretically these are the anarthas and our mind is in a constant kind of discussion between in our minds only like one person is saying like no, this is not correctly studied and we should not behave like this, and then another person inside us only like if there is another person, no, this is we should do. So this kind of
Good dog and bad dog.
so how do we know that we are getting out of these anarthas? Like how do we measure that yes, now I'm coming out of these anarthas?
We can do some honest introspection. We can do some self-analysis. We can pray if required. If you find it helpful, write in diary. Write in a book. What is your current state of mind when you see some devotee successful? 1 year down the line, what's your state of mind when you see another person successful? Here it may be insecurity, envy, jealousy, or some kind of little uncomfortable feeling. Here there's joy, happiness. Wow, he became successful. The joy coming in picture, there's an improvement in that quality, in non-enviousness. Then, one more quality, say pride. When you became successful, you did so much service nicely. You were able to chant well, you were able to read well, you were able to preach well, you did some deity worship nicely. So what is your feeling? Pride? After 10 days or after 1 year or after whatever time frame you said, you assess that. When you're able to dress the deities well, when you're able to do some service well, what's your feeling? Is it pride or happiness or satisfaction? Being happy and being satisfied is great. But being proud, being arrogant, that's not good. You can assess that improvement in quality. Like that, you can just list down whatever may be the anarthas and what are the various situations that invoke the anarthas to just surface. And in similar situations, after 5 months or after 10 months, how is your response? You can just do some self-analysis. Also, we can have some close, like-minded friends who can evaluate for us and tell us frankly where am I going. Actually, we should give some liberty to other devotees to correct us. If you become unapproachable, if devotees have to think 10 times before giving you a feedback, we are in a very precarious condition. We should give some liberty to other devotees to correct us whenever we go wrong. So just please frankly tell me if I'm doing something wrong, I'll try to rectify. So that at least such kind of people we should have, couple of them. We should even ask feedbacks. Please tell me. I did this service. Is there anything wrong in it? Can you please tell me? You can correct me. You're more experienced. Like that, you can receive correction from different devotees in different areas. You take correction in deity worship from those who are expert in deity worship. You take correction in preaching from those who are experienced in preaching. Like that. Keep on taking support of Vaishnava association. Take benefit of it. Vaisa was take full benefit of Vaishnava association. Oftentimes we underutilize the opportunities that we have in Vaishnava Sangha. Should be utilized nicely.